And today is April 9th or 8th, 2011. Hello, twins.
Hello, David.
Hello, David.
And we're down in Florida, and I wanted to ask you a few questions. The first question, and I'll start with Aunt Carol. Tell me about your house on Yates Avenue growing up. Like, what was the feeling in the house? Was it a happy house? Was it a busy house?
It was a busy house, and it was fine. You know, as a child, you think it's the nicest place to live for yourself. But then it was a basic small house on a street that was built, in the 1920s, and a nice neighborhood. And the house was very comfortable, except that none of us ever had our own rooms. Everybody shared a bedroom.
And one bathroom.
And one bathroom upstairs. It's an old-fashioned house, but it was where we all grew up and didn't know any different from what we thought of it. I was happy to come home to it.
Yeah. And Mom, what was your recollection of what your father was like when you were little?
Well, he was a nice, kind man, loved children and animals, and his whole focus on life was his family. I mean, he didn't really have outside friends. He used to play cards occasionally until he outlived them, people. But he worked hard. He was an immigrant who started from nothing, and he and his brother formed a company, and it became, I must have struggled very hard in the beginning because that was the 20s, but by the 30s he was pretty much established and always was home for dinner. But he worked very hard with his brother. He was a good father. I mean, I don't remember him ever scolding us or doing anything wrong.
He treated us better than everybody else in the family.
And we could do no wrong. And he called us by one name. You know, it was either Carol Francie or Francie Carol.
Person to him.
And
he was, Gert used to say, I don't remember him treating any of the rest of us like we were treated. He clearly loved us.
Yeah.
Did you know about any of his earlier jobs? Because I saw that he had a lot of chauffeurs.
Yeah, he was a boxer, he was a motorcycle driver, and when he married my mother, he was a trolley car conductor.
Yeah.
In fact, when they married, they eloped. You know, for those days, you didn't do that, especially my grandfather was an Orthodox rabbi. But they ran off on January 13th, 1914. They went off to Staten Island, interrupted a judge's proceedings, and asked him if if he could marry them, and the court stenographer was the witness. And that I had the whole newspaper article on that.
I didn't even know some of this. All I know is that Uncle Sam was jealous and upset.
It made the front page of the Staten Island Courier for the day of January 14th about this young couple interrupting the judge's proceeding.
Do you know?
1914. And what happened, I had it for many years. I know that they were married in 1914. They were married January 13th, 1914. And I had the newspaper article. I had it in a plastic bag. And that's what I'm worried whether you ever took it, because I had it in the basement of our house all these years. And now I can't find it.
What was
history.
What are your recollections of your mother, Aunt Carol? Like, what was she like?
She really had a hard life, I think. She was very, she was always busy with all of us, and she loved the social life, and she loved to go downtown New York, and I think she missed her family. She was far away in the Bronx.
Her brothers.
But she wasn't close to the brothers except for Dave, Uncle Dave, and Aunt Rose. But she really made a home for all of us. Every night was dinner in her house, and she was a very social person, and my father wasn't. So, and his social life was with his family, and her social life wanted to be with more friends.
Sort of.
So
I think in some ways she was jealous of his relationship with his brothers and sisters.
He was closer to his brothers and sisters than he really was to her.
And I think she resented that because they came first, because he shared a business with his brother. You know, they were partners and everything was equal. And when the brother died, he kept it equal. And my mother never liked my uncle's wife. And I think she resented that because my father supported them just like they
It
were
was
being
hard for her. I
supported.
think that she had a really difficult time, and I think she would have been happier living downtown New York than she was up in the Bronx.
What was
where
the name of
She
the-
didn't drive and had to depend on
Yeah,
my
but
father
everybody
for
used
so
the
much.
trolley and.
We didn't have a trolley
they
that
shopped
near, but she was used to shops downstairs from the building.
What was the name of your father's company, the drug company?
Wholesale
Drug Company on Webster Avenue.
The county drug.
County
It
Drug.
was called
Yeah,
County Drug.
Drug.
And was he in business by himself? or-
No, his
With Uncle
brother. He was
Phil.
inseparable with his brother. He had a brother that was a year older than him. A very,
And
very
he
lovely
died
man,
young.
and he died in his 50s. But they were so close. I think they even shared a car going to work. And
They
they
lived-
never
we lived
fought. The
across-
two wives never got along that well, but they never had a word spoken
He was so close
against
to
each other.
And they lived down the street
Street
from
from
us
us.
for a long time, and then they moved
moved
over
away.
to another area nearby, walking distance, but it wasn't on the same street anymore.
And that probably was better.
Yeah,
But,
but they were inseparable.
Yeah, and his sister
And then
really
the
was.
business eventually was.
Well, that was not
Jack.
till after the war when
Well,
Phil's
eventually
sons
bought
went
the
into-
sons.
Jackie and Willie went into the business, and David and Zev.
Too many.
No, it was fine for a while, and they were able to make good livings out of it. You know, they were married young and was able to support and buy homes. But after the war, when Walgreens and CVS and
Yeah, he
all
didn't
those,
see the changes in the drug business.
because
that they were going to grow so big. And
when we mentioned before, in those days, when you went to a corner drugstore, every street in the Bronx had a corner drugstore, and you bought your tissues, your toothpaste, your prescriptions, everything you needed
no
in your
cosmetics
house.
except
Yeah,
Pond's
you had Pond's
cold
cold cream.
and Almay.
Yeah,
But
no,
no
they
red
had,
lines
but everything
going.
what you buy today in CVS and Walgreens, he supplied the local druggists with. So he made a very good living for those days, you know, for the days of the Depression.
And Carol, tell me about your siblings, starting with the oldest.
Well, there's your Aunt Gert. And she was the oldest. We were her flower girls at their wedding, and her husband was, like
Our
Fran
first
said,
love.
our first love. He was so good to us, right till the end of his life.
Yeah, loved him all his life.
Yeah, he was so wonderful, and they were both wonderful to us. She was like, she was a
Yes,
very much older sister. She treated
She was
us
like a mother in many
like
ways.
we were her children too.
Yeah. My father would
And,
go to a gas station, and if Gert was in the car, they would ask Gert if we were
She
the
was
mother.
poor
And
Gert.
she was the mother.
She would be taken for our mother and my mother's sister. So she had a hard time with the times of the age differences. And then Jack, he was a wonderful brother, but from the time we were 9 years old until we were almost 16, he was away in World War II, and he was drafted early into the Army and left home. And when he got back, he was really stunned at how we changed. And, you know, we'd grown up, and he said he missed our childhood, but he loved us too.
Yeah, he was a good
He
brother,
was so
but
good to us.
he had a
And Willie was the
disappointing
one
life.
that always teased us and got stuck with us,
He
taking
had to
us
take
to
us
the
to the
movies
movies
every
every
week.
Saturday.
And if they left the house,
And
he
we were
was our
such brats.
babysitter.
And my mother insisted if he went to the movies with his friends that we have to go along. And we were such brats, we insisted on
I
going.
remember my mother telling him to drag the kids into lunch, and he
yeah.
literally dragged
Dragged
me
us
into lunch, and I still have
I
a
said,
scar on
yeah.
my knee. But he was so much fun.
It was
and
fun.
funny,
It was
and
fun.
he was.
Make us laugh until the milk ran down our nose.
But he had, he had a hard time in the army. He saw terrible things. Came back much more somber, less. The youth was gone.
It affected him all his life.
Yeah, and
Today
but
they
he
would
was
call
still
it shell shock or,
post-traumatic
post-traumatic
stress.
stress.
But with good reason. But he was. We have no complaints of how our sisters and brothers were to us.
I don't remember
because
ever having arguments.
We
with
were
them.
so
We
much
would argue
younger.
with each other.
Yeah, we were.
But never with them.
We were so much younger that we were handled like two little toys.
Yeah.
And we had a very positive feeling about all the sisters and brothers,
And
We were
cousins.
lucky.
You know, my
Yeah.
father's family, through them, because he had so many brothers and sisters, there were a lot of first cousins, so to
Yeah.
this day, we have wonderful memories of them. Sarah Van Leonor and us were close.